Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is the Scottish Sim Guy and here we are on LADYHILL by FS Landscaping. So if anybody knows what I've been doing, I've done a lot of farm builds on this map. I've done a series on this map in 22. I really did enjoy this map in 22, but I felt it just unfortunately came out a bit too late in 22's life, not long before 25 came out, so probably never played this map to its full potential of what I'd actually like to do. So here we are, it's out on 25 now and I'm going to do a little farm build on it. So I've chosen my field down here, so I'm just going to drive down to the field just now, and this is where I am going to do a farm build right down in here. So jump out here, so go to the map, so I'll show you where it is. This is field 116, so down here. So I'm going to basically build a farm in on this area here, so nothing else for it really than basically just to get stuck into it. So I'm just going to go and start, guys, and we'll see you when it's done.
Throw your stuff away, don't hesitate, don't be scared. New ways will appear in front of you, new wealth too. I know it's a bad day, catching every teardrop. Try to tame a hurricane, wish you didn't feel alive. But if you try to embrace rather than push away, you will find this place getting better day by day. Day by day, day by day, day by day. Big feelings coming closer. It's okay. You're taught the opposite. Let's rewire. I know it's a bad day, catching every teardrop. Try to tame a hurricane, wish you didn't feel alive. But if you try to embrace rather than push away, you will find this place getting better day by day. Oh, listen to the words I say, you can take it day by day. Listen to the words I say. I know it's a bad day, catching every teardrop. Try to tame a hurricane, wish you didn't feel alive. But if you try to embrace rather than push away, you will find this place getting better day by day.
Right everyone, welcome back, and you can see we have made a big difference to what was just a field here. So I'm going to give you a little tour of the farm now. So you obviously seen me build it. Some of the obstacles I kind of came up against was obviously being on the edge of the map. I just couldn't get that right up to the edge, so I've had to do a little bit of, as you seen, placing trees and try to block it out so that you can't see it. But apart from that, it's been pretty straightforward. It's actually been quite a good build to do. So hope you all enjoyed the build. It was quite long as well, I think, if I remember. So can't remember time scale wise, but sometimes the longest thing for me is just adding all the finer details in and bringing all the machinery in and stuff like that. So I think I'm just about 7.5 hours for this build from starting it to finishing it. So one thing I'm really struggling with on 25 is some decent, basically English or UK style farmhouses. There's not really a lot. The good thing about obviously doing Oak Bridge is you've got those houses there, but there was a kind of decorations pack in 22 that had some good old style farmhouses that then you could place a trigger in front of to use. So I've kind of went for a little modern house here because everything else is kind of either American or Polish and just doesn't fit in. So got an old building pack. So what I'll do is I'll go through all the mods that I used building wise, and I'll list them in the description of the video. So if you just want to use them, then you can. So that's what we'll do. So kind of old building and barn here. Kind of made it. That's kind of old kind of joinery kind of workshopy thing going on in here. Quad bikes in there, and then kind of over here and down, kind of made it a bit of a tighter entrance, put a gate in, things like that. And down here we've got the fuel tank, back end of that shed there, an area for pressure washing, so the pressure washer and a couple of barrels there with either detergent or whatever in them for pressure washing. And we've got a Valmet here, an 8800, so that's one of the tractors on the farm. It's sometimes doing a farm build and don't want to always stick to the same machinery all the time, so try to mix it up a little bit. So I've not really done a build with Valmets on it yet. So we've got Tedder, basically roar up, and our Cambridge rollers in there, and then up in this shed here we've got the main tractor. So got the Valtra there, got a Teagle straw chopper, Cavernaland cultivator, we've got the horse drill, Lemken plough. Always kind of really, if I'm putting a plough in the game, I always kind of always go for a Lemken. One of the reasons being first plough I ever ploughed with was a 4 Cavernaland plough. And then we've got shed over here with a combine header, Eagle, dung spreader, Bailey, grain trailer, and then the side doors into that shed there, but don't really use them. Decided to put the auto load in here for stacking bales, so these two areas here, one for hay, one for straw, and then we've got Red Dog grain shed here. If you know my builds from 22, you know it's one of the sheds that I always go for. I've used it a couple of times in 25 as well. I think there's one thing that needs to be updated and fixed on it, is the fact that you can walk through the walls. So that's needing a wee update. So that's why I don't really put any grain or that in here, because the grain's just probably going to spill right out the shed. But apart from that, so basically we've got Pottinger, triple moors, Vicon fast bale, which some people don't believe is an actual real baler, but it is. We've got the Class Evian 450 there, and then JCB loadout. We've got grain silos round the side. So basically this grain silo here, that double one there is one. and then the kind of tip points here, and there's nothing on the ground, but this is a decoration that I've put down, so then it looks like you've got an area actually to tip into, which is fantastic, and added on another few silos there, just to bring the capacity up a little bit. And then we've got our workshop over here, and then in here, this is a kind of new mod that came out there this week, and it's just kind of a concrete wall. You can pile stuff against it, so I've kind of made this an area to put the silage bales, because with beef cattle, the idea with this farm was no silage pit, just an area to stack bales. We've got the Bailey bale trailer there, and then we've got a kind of mineral feed silo there if we need to, but we can put whatever we want in it. And we've got down here, we've got manure heap, little old slurry tank. We've got Sully's cow shed in here that's good for 150 cattle. I've put 75 in it, and then what I did was to make it look like the cows can come in and out the shed whenever they like. I made this area in here a pasture. I think I could get 25 cows in here. There is 25, obviously console only shows 10 cows per basically shed or pasture, and with that now I can bring them in if I want, so everything's in the shed during the winter, and then during the better months they can come in and out the shed if you like. Obviously not something you'd maybe always do with beef cattle, but it's done there and I put beef cattle in it. Obviously you could do that with dairy quite happily, have them coming and going and grazing at the grass all you like, and the shed's there for coming in for milking. Obviously better with a better shed for that, that's maybe got a bit of a I didn't think that out when I placed the gate, did I? Forget that these gates don't sit straight on, they go further back than what they are, so yeah, close the gate. And then along here, just a couple of decorations here, just to basically make it look a bit more. I mean, you could spend a lot of time in just placing things and getting it more farmy, but I don't want to go overboard. And then we've got the Blizzard 2200 gallon tanker there, so use that one on this farm. Whether I might just play this one off screen if I want to do anything with it, but yeah, just thought I'd give you a little tour of the farm, what I've done. Quite happy with it in all honesty. Looking quite good. I'm actually probably thinking I'm going to do another build on LADYHILL as well. I'm going to make it like a newer build, so a newer big dairy farm. Do a little bit of arable, but it's mostly going to be a big dairy farm. That I'm probably going to go for a lot of silage and that getting done. Ideal, so I'll just need to scout for a location and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to jump over here, I'm going to jump up into construction, and then I'm just going to give you kind of view from up above and overhead and just show you kind of where it's been built, and what we've done. So it's if you were coming in from the main road up here, obviously if you watched the whole video you'll have seen me drive down and in here. So along here, it's just ideal when you look at it, kind of smaller farm, the fields down in this kind of area just kind of fit in well with the size of farm and the equipment and that you've got. So if I'm going for a bigger farm, I'll probably move it to elsewhere on the map. I did do a brilliant build on this map on 22, which was probably one of my best builds in all honesty, but it was obviously near the end of 22's time, so there was a lot that a lot of sheds, a lot of decorations that you could use. You were basically using the multiple maximum basically what you could actually get, and whereas we're still quite young in 25 days, so there's still a lot of mods and that to come out. So yeah, this is kind of what it's looking like. Obviously I'll show you like can't get right up to the edge of the map there, so there's obviously a bit of field there. Couldn't get and take into or place anything, so what I did is went as far as I could, painted, put the trees down, and then just worked back from that. Obviously you've seen that in the video, but yeah, quite very much happy with it, how it's went, how it's been done. So if you have enjoyed it, folks, give us a like, subscribe. It all really does help the channel. I've started up a Discord channel as well, so if you want to join that, the link is in my bio and things like that there, and I'll put it in the description as well. But I just try to get a little bit busier with the channel and stuff like that, so just thought I'll make somewhere for people to chat away, and actually joined. I'm new to Discord. I've not really used Discord at all, so I actually started one up the other day there just to be able to join the Midlife Simsters Discord channel. So if you haven't checked his out, go and check his out as well, and join mine if you like as well. And other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching the video, and we'll see you again in the next one.